Howdy. My name is Remy Ball. I am an education abroad advisor that works in our office. I work directly with students who are going on faculty-led programs, but I also do general advising. A little bit about myself. I am from the East Coast originally. I went to school on the East Coast as well. And I came to Texas about 2 years ago now at this point. And for my education abroad experience, I worked on I worked on semester at sea, and I also traveled with semester at sea as a student many years ago. And semester at sea is what we call an affiliate provider program. We don't expect you to know those terms yet, but after this presentation, you will. And so I was looking for a program when I was planning to go abroad, a program that allowed me to go to multiple countries and also have a home base and to travel with lots of other students.
Howdy, everyone. My name's Katie Martin. I am also an education abroad advisor, and I work mostly with our education or our faculty-led programs. This is my cat, Jules. She's very snuggly right now. I'm originally also from the East Coast. I'm from the great state of Maine, and I went to the University of Maine. And I have also been in Texas for about 2 years now. I went abroad also on a affiliate provider program to Madrid, Spain, through a affiliate provider called USAC. And I also taught English in Thailand after college. So yeah.
All right, so we are going to take you through this presentation. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to turn my video off as I'm presenting, and then I'll turn it back on in the end for questions. So again, this presentation is meant to explore where do you even start when it comes to selecting an abroad program. There are tons of programs out there. So in the chat, if you could put in a location that you might be interested in, so that we can get a feel of locations that you're looking for, or just what an area of the world that excites you when it comes to studying abroad. Not all at once. Perfect. Japan. Awesome. South America. Europe. Cool. Australia. Same. Argentina. Great. Thank you all for sharing. So we'll circle back to this at the end in just a bit. So right now we're going to spend some time looking at where do I begin. So these are going to be sort of the timeline for you to consider when you're going abroad.
So about 10 to 12 months before leaving to go on your abroad program, we do recommend reaching out to your academic advisor. This is super important that you talk to them to make sure that you can take the courses that you want to take outside of College Station. And it also helps you prepare and make sure that you're on the right path on your degree plan. So we always recommend talking to your academic advisor first, just so you make sure you're on the right path.
Academic advising is also really important to make sure you've touched base, because some students come to A&M already with a lot of transfer credit. So if you only have a certain amount of credits, or you're so far advanced in your degree plan that you only can really take 1 or 2 courses, and they have to match specific courses on your degree, this is really important to make sure you're connecting with them. So we say 10 months out, explore options, but really you can start looking at any time. We're going to go over how to look for programs in this presentation, but there are many options out there. So it's really good to identify possibly 1 or 2 or 3 programs that you're interested in the event one location becomes unavailable, or you're not accepted into one. That way you have some backup options.
And then about 8 to 10 months out, we're gonna recommend that you start looking on how you're gonna fund your trip. Is it gonna be through financial aid? Do you have money in your bank account to pay for it? Do you use scholarships? Maybe you have scholarships here at A&M and they have a stipend for you to use. There are loan options. So this is about the time we want you to prepare and think about how you're going to fund this, because most programs are gonna have you pay before you even travel. And please note that if you do have financial aid, like scholarships, loans, grants, anything like that, those will not be put into your account until 10 days prior to your program leaving. That's a federal rule, that's not our rule. But yeah, we always want students to prepare and understand how much their trip is going to cost and how they're going to fund it.
There are also a lot of scholarships that are internal to Texas A&M that have deadlines, and then there are also other scholarship opportunities that might be available either through the specific school you're applying to abroad or through the program. So it's also good to be aware of those dates as well when you're sort of exploring your options. So we say about 9 months in 6 to 9 months in advance. Talk to Education Abroad. You'll also have to start going through the application process. We're here to help you through all of that. And if you have any questions about the location you've chosen, or you just want more information on how you go about registering for courses or what you need to do to prepare, that's why we're here, and we're happy to walk through options with you as well.
And then about 4 to 6 months out, you will have a preparation checklist. So preparing to get your passport, visa if necessary, making sure you have the correct medications, XYZ. So there will be a checklist within your portal just to help you be prepared. Everything from registering for courses to purchasing a flight. Yeah.
And then upon your return, once you've gone abroad, we do have reentry assistance available at A&M. If you are someone that is returning from abroad and want to connect to their office, we're here for you. So now we're going to go into what you need to be thinking about when you're planning your abroad program. So in terms of defining your objectives, one of the most important things is location, of course, and it's something that is like the most exciting of all, is determining where you're going to go. Within your location, when you're searching for programs, it's really important to know that sometimes the courses that you really want to take aren't in your first choice location. So we always recommend going back and looking at other options and seeing if you found a program that meets all of your criteria, but it's in a different country. We still recommend like making sure you do some research into it, because it could be a really good fit for you. Within your location, it's also good to think about the physical demands of the program. If you need any accommodations, or think about where you want to be. Some cities abroad have really great public transportation. Others, you might need a bike or to get to and from school, or you might be walking. So it's good to think about that in advance. Also, health and safety is really important when choosing a location. If you are someone that needs access to, certain medical facilities while you're abroad, it's good to know that in advance, so we can help you find a location that can be a better fit for you, because we want to make sure that you have access to what you need while you're abroad, and also that you feel safe as well. And then also identity plays into that. There are certain parts of the world, that are easier to navigate. So also with location, if you have any concerns about how you identify, whether as an individual, let us know so we can help you. Sometimes regional locations can vary based on religion, or how they accept LGBTQ students. So it's really good to think about that in advance, in the event that there is a part of your identity that you are concerned for, or if you are nervous about experiencing any sort of prejudice while you're abroad. Also, under skills, thinking about the skills you want to develop while you're abroad. There are a lot of programs out there that are taught in English, so that's really great. There are hundreds of English language programs out there, so that way you don't have to worry about taking your courses in another language. But if you do have language skills, that may open the door for you to take courses at different universities that might not necessarily be available to other students. And then also thinking about your specialty or your major. Do you want to go abroad to develop skills in your major that you wouldn't necessarily be able to develop at A&M? Or do you want to take courses that you would never be able to take at A&M because they're available in other countries and not here? So it's important to think about that skill set that you want to define.
And then moving on to social, do you want to stay with a host family, or do you want to do staying in an apartment with friends or people that are on your program? Are you okay with being away from your family for a longer period of time? Missing important events. So when I had the option to study abroad, I decided to do a spring semester. That year, I had the option of either going to my cousin's wedding and missing one of my sorority's biggest events, or vice versa. And I decided obviously to go to my cousin's wedding. So I moved my study abroad program to a spring semester instead of a fall semester. I know for a lot of students at A&M, that they don't want to miss football season, or they don't want to miss the ring ceremonies. So these are a lot of important events to think about. And then also the emotional demands. Are you going to be okay being away from your friends and family for a while? Are you going to be able to be with other Aggies, or do you want to go on a more independent program that doesn't really have other Aggies, but might have students from across the US, or not even go with a program like that where it is other US students and you just go to a foreign country and enroll in a university there where it's very, very independent. So know what you're going to be able to do emotionally and physically. And then academics. So are you going to be doing a credit bearing or non-credit bearing program? So are you going to be able to receive credit? Or are you going to be doing more of like a volunteer program where, you know, these programs are not credit bearing? As I said before, it is super important for you to meet with your academic advisor just to go over your options and what's going to be best for you.
Also to know with credit bearing versus non-credit bearing, for example, on the program I did a summer semester at sea program, which they unfortunately no longer offer, but in order to participate on that program, I had to enroll in 9 credits, and it was required to be in this one course that's through the program. And I had to pay for those 3 credits. However, that one course didn't transfer back to my undergrad degree, so I just didn't get credit for that course. I only got credit for 2 courses. So that's just something to think about as well. It is possible to do programs where you're enrolled in the correct number of credits, but they just don't all transfer back. But that's up to you because that will impact your degree plan. So, so for me, I was okay not getting that extra credit because I was still graduating on time. But if you're someone that needs those additional 3 credits, it's good to have some backup courses in mind. And then also for non-credit bearing, it's important to know that most financial aid only applies for credit bearing experiences. So if you are dependent on scholarships and financial aid, going on a credit bearing experience is going to be most beneficial to you. And same thing, if you decided to do an international internship, it is possible for that to count as an internship course at A&M. So don't let that dissuade you from pursuing an international internship because it is possible to get credit for those experiences. So important factors when determining what type of program you want to participate on. Number one, and we always emphasize this, is financing your trip. Understanding when you get charged, how much it's going to cost. For example, something that we don't necessarily think about in terms of financing your trip is the currency exchange. In some locations, the dollar is very strong and you get a lot of, you get a lot of a high exchange rate. So therefore you can do more in that country. Whereas if you're in a country where the dollar is weaker and things are roughly the same cost or more expensive, that may limit what you can do in country. So it's important to do a little bit of research about the program and the location to make sure that it fits within your budget. Another thing we don't necessarily think about is flights and visas. When I went on semester at sea in 2019, I had to get visas for 5 different countries, and that costs up to $800. So if you're going to a country that has multiple destinations and multiple visas, know that that is a big upfront cost that you might have to spend. And same thing for flights as well. A flight to Australia is going to be way more expensive than, say, a flight to Ireland. So if that is something you want to think about in terms of cost and how to make that work for you, it is possible. It just takes a little bit more work on your end.
And then the duration of your program. Do you want to do a 1-week field trip, or do you want to do a full academic year abroad? There are very many different duration periods. You can do 1 week, 2 weeks, winter break, spring break, fall or spring semester, summer 1, summer 2, or a summer 10-week. There are many different options for you, and just knowing how long and how comfortable you are with being abroad.
Katie touched on this before when we discussed housing for under social, but there are so many programs out there that offer different things. So even for some faculty leds at A&M, you know, there are some programs that you're staying in a hotel, whereas some you're staying in host families. So it's really good to get an idea of where you want to be staying while you're abroad. If you want to live in a residence hall for their students, if you want to live in on-campus housing, um, some students even choose to find their own housing when they're abroad. We don't recommend this because it can be really difficult to secure a short-term lease when you're not from that country. However, it is something to think about. If you're looking for a really immersive experience, a host family is always going to be the best way to go, especially if you're trying to develop language skills. And if you're looking at that, you know, living in residence halls or, you know, living on campus for a program, if you're enrolling at a partner institution abroad, that would most likely be an exchange program. So it's really great to consider this in advance. Sometimes students want to live with other people from their program. Sometimes they want to meet locals in the community.
And then also an individual or a group experience. So are you going to be more independent? Do you want to go with other Aggies? Do you want to go with other students from the US from different institutions? It really just depends on your comfort level of studying and traveling abroad. So if you want that group experience, great. And if you want that individual experience and independent experience, that's great too. So knowing what you're comfortable with and what you want to do while you're abroad.
So as far as included activities, this sort of goes with individual and group, but there are a lot of programs that allow you to have excursions built into the program. So if you're someone that wants a complete itinerary planned out, it's just important. We're not necessarily saying you need to know the answers to all of these questions, but it's really important to think about what you're looking for. So even if you know, like, I'd like to stay at a homestay and I'd like to travel with other Aggies, we can probably help you find a program that may fit. But it's good to have an idea of all these other aspects. So include activities, whether that's you want, you know, your entire trip planned for you, or if you're looking for more independent experience where you can do your own thing when you get to a country. Having an idea can help us as advisors narrow down a program that'll be best fit for you.
And then program type. We're going to go more into detail about the different program types in a moment, but knowing if you want to do an exchange program, an affiliate provider program, faculty led, field trip, internship, just knowing what you want to do and what you're most comfortable with.
And then also just some special considerations. We touched on this before briefly, but identity when you're going abroad. If you have any concerns for you, or if you have any ideas of things you might be concerned about, it's really important to raise those to an education abroad advisor in advance, so we can make sure that the location you're going to is one that you will feel safe. And then also personal or academic accommodations. If you are someone that receives personal or academic accommodations on campus, do know that the ability to accommodate some of these things abroad may not be possible in the location you've chosen. So it's really important to make sure if you have any insights about yourself to share those with us so we can help you and make sure that you are going to a program that will help you be successful. And then we mentioned this before about visas, but making sure that you have a passport and a visa if needed in advance. Oftentimes those take several months to apply. Right now, the estimated wait time for a passport, if you don't have a valid one in hand, is 10 to 12 weeks. And then on top of that, if you needed a visa, that would have to be sent out as well. So if you're trying to apply for a program that left, you know, in 2 months, the ability of having that passport in hand may not be possible. Okay, so Katie and I have talked a lot about education abroad program types. So we're going to go over some of those very briefly to give you an idea of what's available and what's out there. And then we're going to hop over to our website just to take a quick tour, and then we'll leave some time for questions.
So the first program type we're going to talk about are exchange programs. So exchange programs are universities that TAMU partners up with. So we send students to them and they'll send students to us. Some of these programs will have a language requirement. And then you will also need a 3.0 GPA or a junior and senior classification. There's also going to be an interview process as well. And like an essay portion as well. So this program type normally takes about 6 to 9 months prior to going abroad. So be prepared early. So there are also all major exchanges as well as like college or departmental exchanges. So say you're in engineering, they do have their own engineering exchanges that you can talk with your college about. And then there are the courses. Those actually come back as transfer credit. So it will not go towards your GPA and it will not count as A&M credit. It will count as transfer credit. And then our exchange programs are typically in the fall and spring semesters, and you can also do a full academic year. And then I think there are a couple of summer as our fall and spring semester programs. The great thing about exchange programs are that you are paying your A&M tuition and fees. So if you are in state, you will be paying in-state tuition to go study at a different university. So you should consider cost of living at the host university and or host country. Sometimes it could be a lot less expensive to live abroad than it is to actually live in College Station. You could be paying cheaper rent, your food could be less expensive. You might just be walking everywhere and not taking public transportation or Ubering or anything like that. But in other times, if you're going to be living in a big city, rent could be more, food could be more, traveling around could be more. And this is one of the most cost-effective ways to study abroad. There are even some programs where, like I said before, it will be cheaper to attend school there than it is to attend school in College Station.
Affiliate provider programs are both programs that Katie and I did technically. Affiliate provider is just a fancy way of saying it's a third-party provider that allows students to go abroad. What is great about affiliate provider programs is they vary greatly. So if you're looking for a location that you can't find through an exchange program or a faculty-led program, chances are an affiliate provider program will have it. And then you also, affiliate providers are super flexible. There are summer programs that range in they'll be like 3 weeks long, or you could do a full 8 to 10 weeks. They also have semester programs that can be based at exchange program, that'll be based at universities abroad that might not be available through our exchange programs. They also have winter break programs available. And for affiliate provider programs, the courses will come back as transfer credit. And you'll also want to work with your academic advisor to pre-approve any classes in advance. Affiliate provider programs will most likely have a very diverse array of courses available to you as well. For affiliate provider programs, financial considerations, what's great about affiliate provider programs is they also have their own additional scholarships available. And we have those links to those scholarships that the affiliate providers that we work directly with available on our website. It's also important to know that there are a lot of affiliate provider programs out there in the world. The one that I did technically isn't associated with A&M. But it is possible to go on them. But it's good to know in advance that A&M does not accept credit from all affiliate provider programs. So if you found one that's not on our website, make sure you check with us first so that we can tell you whether or not we accept credit from that provider or that institution. Also, federal funding may only apply to courses that are within your degree plan. So there are some important links listed down here. We actually have these on our website, so we'll go visit this at the end. But on our website, we have a list under this Google Doc here that shows you all of the courses that students at A&M have taken through an affiliate provider program and where they took it, and then also the link to the affiliate provider website. So that way you can go back in. If you're looking for a specific course and you're not sure where to start, you can go in and plug in that specific course to the spreadsheet and see where that person took it and the credit they got from A&M.
And then faculty-led programs. So these are programs that Remy and I advise on most. So these are basically A&M courses that are picked up and brought overseas. So you're going to be going with a group of Aggies. You will have an A&M professor. It goes towards your A&M GPA, and it will come back as A&M credit. There are varying eligibility requirements. Some will have certain prereqs. You might need to have a certain GPA. It is best to look at the program webpage for any program that you're interested in to see what the prereqs are for it. For some programs, you might have to have a certain language where, like, you might have taken like Spanish 101 or Spanish 201 or a certain level of foreign language before you can study abroad on that program. Our most popular programs are typically in the summer. That is when most are. And then we do have semester programs in the spring and summer, and then as well as winter break programs. And then you are paying Texas A&M tuition and fees. So if you're paying in-state, great. If you're paying out-of-state, you're paying that. And then like I said, most run during the summer or winter break. And then terms that many students do not normally take classes. So yeah, faculty programs are our most popular programs. So.
Okay, and so one of the last things we are going to touch on is field trips and student groups. If you're not ready to go abroad for a full summer or a semester, field trips and student groups may be a really great option for you. Field trips are typically associated with a specific course that you can enroll in at A&M, and then you go abroad for either like the spring break period or right in May, or you may, if it's a fall course, you might go over Thanksgiving or right at the end of the semester or over winter break. And typically happens over those short-term break periods. They're usually 1 to 2 weeks in length, and they can be credit bearing or non-credit bearing. It depends if it's associated with a specific course. For student groups, those of course are not going to be credit bearing, but there are international experiences that you can go just for a short period of time. And if you are interested in doing a field trip that's associated with a specific course at A&M, that means you would be going with your class and the staff and faculty associated with that course. For those, we recommend working with your academic advisor to help you identify which courses those are that would go abroad and that may fit with your degree plan. Again, for the financial considerations, it must be credit bearing in order to access scholarships and financial aid. And then the scholarships will correspond to the term in which the courses take place. So if you're looking at a fall course, you would need to apply in the spring for financial aid and vice versa. And then also, if you are thinking of going abroad and you know a sort of student organization that is going abroad, typically these are for volunteer projects. Those may be eligible for funding through student activities or the college, depending if the organization is affiliated with a specific department or college on campus. And then last is independent travel. So the program I did, it would be considered independent travel. Essentially, I found a program that wasn't associated with my college, and it wasn't an affiliate provider either. So I had found this program. I really wanted to do it. Again, we don't want you to feel like you're limited to what's in our Education Abroad portal. So if you find something that's like a research or intern or study opportunity abroad, you just have to fill out the independent travel registration, which is on our website. And that'll help facilitate the process of getting those credits transferred back. And then same thing for independent travel or just, any abroad program. We've said this multiple times, but it must be credit bearing and meet the enrollment eligibility requirements to access scholarships and financial aid. What that means is there are some scholarships out there that require that you're abroad for 28 days in order to access a certain amount of funds. Some may require that you spend more than 21 days abroad. So it's just important to make sure that you pay attention to that. And then the program you want to choose if financing your trip is really, really important to you. And then also understanding that internships abroad are typically unpaid. So if you're applying to an internship, chances are you're going to be paying for the internship versus getting paid for it. Unlike in the United States, when some students will choose internship opportunities over the summer, and you may be receiving either a paycheck through that. Abroad, most likely that would not be happening. So this is just a brief overview, and we're going to hop over the website in just a minute, but how to search for programs. We have this system It is a little bit confusing, so we really recommend keeping your search general. On this site here, you'll see it says program name. Under the program name, you really just want to, for the program name, make sure, don't put anything in there unless you know exactly what you're searching for. You'll also see under location and term, under country, using country is a really great way to start if you're like very specific in where you want to go. But the region one is also a good option too. If you know you want it to be somewhere in Europe, but you're open to a country, it's good to check there. Or you can just select time abroad, which I prefer because that'll give you all of your options that are available through our affiliate providers, through our faculty-led programs, through our exchange programs, because that time abroad, so you say you know you want to go abroad for fall, then you just have to click fall and it'll bring up a ton of options. And I know that can be super overwhelming, but it's good to just check through and see what's there. And then also if you look at the locations on the side, if you see, let's say you're really interested in going to Spain, but the only place you've ever heard of is Madrid, but you see another country, another city listed, do some research into that city and try to learn more before you just outright commit to something, because there might be opportunities there that you weren't aware of before. Also, a special note, if you are in Mays Business School or College of Engineering, in the College of Ag, University Studies, there may be, University Studies Architecture, there are a lot of internal programs that may be designed for your major already. So it's really important to check with your college's website for info. Again, this is really great for students who have specific courses they need to take. Especially if your degree plan isn't very flexible and you don't really have room for transfer credit. So check with your individual college if you belong to one of those. So I will let you all take a minute to think about what your initial goals are after this, and then we'll jump over to the website. So before you meet with an education abroad advisor or even your academic advisor, it's really important for you to think about what you want to get out of your abroad experience. We listed a lot of things, special considerations, defining your objectives, etc. So knowing what you want to gain from your abroad experience will help us help you find a program that fits, and it'll also make your experience abroad more meaningful. So think about what your most important goals are. Is it independence? Is it language development? Is it to experience new culture, which I hope it is? Is it career experience that may help you look for, an internship versus courses? So this will help you define what you're looking for, and also help us find a meaningful fit for your what may be best for you. So to get more info, we do have a newsletter. You can also check us out if you want to meet with an education abroad advisor. We offer virtual advising appointments right now. And then you can also connect with us. We are located in the pavilion. It's by appointment only if you want to come in to speak with someone in person, but you can reach out to us via email or our website, and then we are also on social media as well. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen real quick and pull up our website. Give me just one moment. Okay. Great. So this is our website. We just relaunched it. So if you've been on it before, it may look a little different. Under here, you'll see start your journey. So this will be a step-by-step guide. You can look at it here, list or text, great little options here, but I'll give you more details. And this is sort of what we just went over. So if you've forgotten anything, you'll find it here. Just click on the little plus signs for it to give you more information. You can also look here. I am a TAMU student. The search for programs button is right here. You'll also see more information on why go abroad. And then some more reasons here, start here, health and safety. This funding tab is going to be our favorite, but it's also right up here at the top. This is where you'll find information about understanding program costs. This right here, learning more about what you're looking at when you're looking at programs and you're looking at individual websites. There's also this program comparison chart here. that helps you look at some of the stuff we just covered about exchange programs, the field trips, affiliate providers, faculty led, and gives you a nice little breakdown of the cost, level of on-site support, credit type, who you're taking classes with, what your housing options are, etc. So if you're unsure of everything we just went over, it's all right here in this lovely chart. Back to our website under funding. You'll see tabs here for scholarships and financial aid. If you are someone that has scholarships or financial aid, whether you're using veteran benefits or certain like the Texas Guaranteed Tuition Plan, it's really important to talk to the individual scholarship office or to financial aid to make sure you know what your options are. But there will be 2 links here, learn more about financial aid, learn more about scholarships. There is some information about the A&M scholarship opportunities that are listed here. And then here's where all of our affiliate providers are listed. We have got our affiliate providers, and you can click here to look at those and see what they offer. And then there's also some external scholarships and grants that aren't through A&M, but we still recommend applying for. It also gives you a little bit of who is eligible to apply. And then there's also some more scholarships listed below. If you are someone that's going abroad for language specific reasons, or you're going to develop a language, these scholarships here would be a really good fit. The Critical Language Scholarship Program is one that funds your entire trip if you are studying a critical language. So it's good to check out that if, understanding what's out there first. And there's also some location specific ones listed here. And then under Start Here, we'll go to, there's more information on understanding program types. So again, what we just went over, general application tips, and then finding a program. So this is our website right here, what we were just talking about. So you'll see, again, the location. We always, if you're like, I'm 100% I'm going to Australia, you would click on Australia. Again, you can sort of avoid the parameters. I don't like to use some of the ones because it'll pull very specific information and not necessarily everything that fits in for your major. So I recommend using the top 3. That's my personal preference. So if I was interested in country, I really wanted to go to Australia, I'd select Australia, hit search, and this will bring up everything that we have that goes to Australia. Everything that has a star next to it is going to be an A&M sponsored program, whether that's an exchange or a faculty led. You'll see here some of them are business only exchange. And then you'll see this one has a faculty led next to it. And then after you get past the stars, so those are the TAMU sponsored ones, you'll get all of our affiliate provider programs. I recommend clicking through these and seeing what's there. And then these links will take you to, we'll just click on this internship one. This will take you to the affiliate provider brochure page that we have in our portal. However, there is a homepage that you can visit and click here, and this will take you to the affiliate provider's website. So you can see more about what the program offers, because there'll be a lot more information listed here. And then this will also help you look at just what affiliate providers have to offer and looking at their other locations that they have as well. And then again, on our website, more information about funding, health and safety. Here is our website to meet with an advisor. We are all listed here. We also tell you a little bit about ourselves. So we can help if you're looking for specific programs listed as well. And then if there's one more thing I wanted to add, oh yes, COVID. So it's difficult to talk about going abroad right now if we don't address COVID. So on our website here, under COVID-19 updates, this is where you'll find the most up-to-date information about COVID. It's all listed here. And if you have any questions about withdrawing from our program or learning more about what we're doing, let us know. It's all on our website. And then down here, We do have passport services available at our office. So we're a passport acceptance agency. So if you're someone that needs a passport, you can come in and make an appointment with us to do that. So, and then there's one more thing. I believe it was under, I'm brand new to this, so I'm searching around. Under the program types, understanding program types, you'll see again more information here, but this is that, where is it? The affiliate providers right here. This will be learn more about the affiliate providers. This takes you to what our affiliate providers are and what the application process is. So if you have questions on that. And then here is the list of our previously approved courses right here that we just talked about during the presentation. This is gives you more information about what courses students have taken abroad. So that way you can get an idea in case you're looking for a specific course. All right, so thank you all for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing there. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Thank you for joining us this morning, and please feel free to make an appointment if you have any questions.